Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how much it costs to lease a brand new Subaru WRX. So I just recently went through the process of looking for and buying a WRX. I was between purchasing a used WRX 2015 or 2016. I ended up going with a 2015, and it was between buying a used one or leasing a new one. And I both did a lot of research. I went through a lot of different almost buying situations, almost leasing situations, and there's some interesting information about going through the process of leasing a brand new WRX. One important thing to know that, I knew going into, but I didn't know how bad the misrepresentation was the advertised lease prices. Often you'll get an email, you'll see in a catalog, you'll see on a website, wow, you can lease a Subaru WRX for this amount of money. Generally, it looks like you could get them in my area, which is New Hampshire, Massachusetts, the Northeast. They advertise them for just about $300 a month. And what's interesting there is the chances of actually walking out with a leased WRX for that amount of money is very unlikely. So some things to consider that define lease prices is your credit, your down payment. That really shouldn't affect it, but your credit, the options, what you're looking for, the area in which you're buying, the cost of living there. But what's really important is your credit and what you actually consider as the lease price. Now, it's like buying a car. You don't want to negotiate a monthly price. You want to negotiate the total cost to own or the total cost to purchase, whatever it's going to cost you to leave the dealership. I want to tell you guys now in the video, for a premium 2018 WRX in the Northeast, it might be a little bit different depending on where you live, but for the Northeast, the lease price per month, at least for me, which is going to be many of you purchasing out there, was just about $400, and it ranged anywhere from $380 to the high 500s, which is just incredible. To give you a little background about myself, I have a medium credit history, 22 years old. I've owned 2 cars in my life, and I was going into the experience without a cosigner, so I was just doing it on my own. But many WRX owners are on the younger side. They often have limited credit. That's just the demographics of who's buying these cars, especially leasing them. So many of you might be in the same situation. Now, my medium credit history and my good credit score, I have a high 700. I just have medium credit history. I still was ranging from like about $380 to even some of the quotes were almost $600 a month. And this is only for a premium car. The MSRP was probably, $27,000, $28,000. So a few of the other things, the things that really just made the decision for me not to lease and to buy beyond, the ability to modify, what was the warranty worth, were the things that I had to pay on top of that monthly cost. Now you expect a few costs on top, and you expect to be able to negotiate them down so that you're really only leaving that dealership with the monthly payment. However, the amount of costs to leave, the document fee, the signing, the delivery, all those things, and the things that you would pay if you didn't want to keep the car at the end, totaled about $1,500, and that was without tax. That's not the registration. That's just fees that the dealer is taking money from you. So how much is it going to cost you to own a Subaru WRX? Let's assume you're paying the standard Subaru down payment of about $1,490. That's generally what they set all their prices at. So let's say you're going to put about $1,500 down. You're going to probably pay between $400 and $500 a month. Now you might get lucky and get in the 300s, but that's if you have excellent credit, maybe a cosigner, maybe you're able to provide some collateral depending on what state you're in. And the ultimate thing is there's going to be an extra $1,500 to $2,000, along the ownership of the car that you're probably going to pay to the dealer that, is, whether it's document fees, all different types of stuff like that. But the important message here is, you've got that monthly cost, and you're also going to have, probably over $1,000 worth of fees to take that car home.